Hello all, Pit Bike Mike, as you can see right there on the nice sticker. So, here we are. We are going to be getting this 120/70/17 Bridgestone Battle Axe S22 mounted up onto the front. So, I actually had to buy the service manual from Kawasaki for this because they just don't have the torque specs that I needed for this online. So, you know, this is pretty nice. It's got a lot of information in here. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Definitely, this is the first service manual that I've ever purchased personally. So, yeah, definitely fancy. Definitely quite fancy. So, I know for the front wheel, it's like for the axle. Alright, good. Oh gosh, I'm just getting this book dirty already. I just got this thing. And let me take these gloves off right quick just so I can go through and double check on everything. Alright, so here we are. So the axle is going to be 65 foot-pound and the clamps are 15. So alright, 65 and 15. Alright, so we will see. And then I actually unbolted the caliper, so it made it easier to get out, and that's 21 because I've already looked it up in the book. So let's get at it and see what happens. Before we go too crazy, let's loosen up this caliper bolt, which let me zoom around to show you what I'm looking at right here. So it's got two bolts, one which would be there, and this is this one for right here. So we'll loosen that up. Take that, drop it out of the way. So, don't recommend leaving it hanging like that, but I'm just gonna leave it hanging like that. So definitely a thing you want to avoid is dropping these onto the ground while definitely getting this done up. And doesn't make the job any easier. It really does not. Because then gotta reapply a little bit of grease. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, kind of holding it in place. Gonna take this axle and slide it up in there. Alright, one side and two side. I'm gonna just kind of spin a little bit, hopefully get it started. Ooh, there we go. I think it did something there. Alright. Got the bolt slightly started. Now, gonna come back over here, and I'm gonna gently, ever so gently, get this caliper slid into place. And once we got it slightly in place, gonna just kind of finger tight getting these things started up. Which, boom, there we go. Got one started, and got number 2 started. There we go. Look at that. So just gonna ever so gently just kind of lightly seat these, and then we're gonna get this thing torqued down. So like we said before, we are gonna be doing 65 foot-pound, and I'm running a 14 what is that, hex? Alright, 65. Alright, there we go, 65 foot-pounds for that. So what we're going to do now, I see a little bit of grease poking through right there, so I'm just going to wipe that off. Going to actually lower the bike down before you actually tighten these up, and they actually say to bounce it a couple times just to make sure it's all nice and seated well. So we will get to that momentarily. As you can see, I have like this weird little contraption kind of holding my bike up. Definitely wouldn't say this is the smartest thing in the world, but you know what? It works. It works. Alright, there we go. Gotta drop down. Move my impromptu pieces of wood out of the way. Alright, so they say to compress the front a couple of times, you know, to get it nice and seated. So I'll work on doing that. And then once they compress it a little bit, they actually have a process of inside, outside, inside for tightening these up. 180 inch-pounds. And like I said, these were little 12-inch, so we'll... And they said the process, inside, outside, inside. So. Okay. Obviously, I'm not torquing it just yet. I'm just getting it to where it's just a little close. I'm going to bounce it one more time just to make sure, for sanity's sake. Alright, let's torque it and see what happens. Alright, there's 15 foot-pound on that one. Alright, 15, and then they said to check them. Boom. Alright, that is set to 15 foot-pounds for the clamp on the front. Alright, last thing to do is to torque the caliper bolts, which is the last little piece, and that is 21 foot-pounds on this bike. So there's 20 and 21. Alright. Alright, we'll just double check, make sure everything's all kosher. Boom. And boom. Alright, look at that. It is nice and mounted up. So I'll get it outside in a few and take it for a ride, and we'll see what we see. Alright, so wanted to go over the tire real quick, kind of give you that nice little look-see of it. Got everything buttoned back up, all that. Gotta say, it's a little wider. I don't know if I have a photo, otherwise I'll throw it in, of like how the front sits now as it did before, but it definitely has a nice good look. I'm really looking forward to, as I get this tire broken in, getting to feel how it feels. So let's go for a ride and see how we see. Alright, before we get out onto the road, I'm just kind of doing a little bit of something in this little parking lot just to kind of get a feel for the tire, all that good stuff. Get that nice deep lean in. Nice little tight figure eights. And there's the girlfriend, by the way, on her little Grom. But I gotta say, even though the tire hasn't been broken in yet, I don't even have more than 2 miles on this tire. It feels good. Like, just kind of throwing it in deep into this corner, like, you know, doing like these tight U-turns, I gotta say, I got a lot more confidence, like, right off the bat than I did on the IRC. Like, me leaning it over this far with the IRC, I really would have been quite fearful. But this thing, like, I have this thing really leaned over, and this thing just feels so good. Like, wow, it's a major difference in just a tire right off the bat. Like, I have this thing, like, I can't even describe enough how far I feel like I have this thing leaned over, and it just feels so good. Yeah, I definitely like this a lot. It feels so good. We'll see once we actually get it on the road and get these miles broken in on it, but so far that feels really good. That feels really, really good. Alright, well, let me actually get on the road instead of just doing, you know, figure eights in a parking lot. But like I said, just off of that first little bit, it's great. It is a major improvement over the stock tires right off the bat. So I cannot recommend these enough so far, and I barely haven't even, I guess I can't say I recommend them yet. But like I said, just off that first little bit, they feel amazing. So let's keep riding and see what happens. Alright, so we're gonna do one of my little favorite roads. If this guy would actually get on his side of the road. Wow, that's exciting. So, like I said, doing those figure eights, the tires felt really good. Definitely quite inspiring. Yeah, inspiring. I can't pronounce. Speak. Confidence inspiring. Yes, those are the words that I'm looking for. And yes, these tires make a huge difference. I gotta say, they feel so good. Like, I'm definitely being careful not to push them too hard, because I would really hate to wipe out due to brand new tires. But like, wow, it just feel nice. I gotta say, it's really impressive how much a front tire makes a difference. Because, you know, like when I had the rear tire one with the IRC front, you know, like, there was slight differences, but I gotta say, as soon as I threw this front on, it is so different. Like, it definitely changes, like, definitely everything about the bike. But like I said, the turn-in, it takes just a smidgen more to turn in, but honestly, it feels so good. Like, I do not regret switching at all. This is, wow, yeah. Yes, I am pushing it a little bit on brand new tires. I do not recommend because it can bite you, but oh, wow. Because I have like 60, almost 70 miles on the rear tire. So, you know, that's at least kind of almost broken in, but obviously the front is the, you know, since I'm leaning into the corners and all that, but yeah, it feels so good. So to my KLX 230 Supermoto fam, yeah, definitely definitely not bad at all. So yeah, I'm probably going to cut it off here. I just wanted to give you all a quick little something on these new tires. Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of ride around and enjoy just getting these broken in, and we'll touch all base later. So yeah, Pit Bike Mike out.